So in the world of 2022, we are very blessed with some of the most powerful cameras we've ever had to date. We have the Canon R5, R5C, R6, the Sony A7S3, A7 IV, Nikon Z9. The list just goes on and on of these extremely powerful cameras. But the fact of the matter is that if you're just doing YouTube videos, you don't need that, nor do you need to invest that much money. What if I told you there's a camera out there that shoots uncropped 4K with no record limit, up to 120 frames per second with in-body image stabilization, great color science, the ability to shoot in log profiles, state-of-the-art autofocus with a flip screen, with a full-frame sensor for less than half of the cost of all the cameras I listed before? Well, that's exactly what I've got here. What's going on, guys? My name is Zak Kincaid, and today we are talking about what I believe is one of the most underrated cameras for content creation, and I'm not sure why more people aren't giving this camera the praise it deserves. If you could go ahead and subscribe for me, that'd be great. 98% of the people who are watching my channel aren't subscribed, and I don't know why. It really helps me out, so just go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It's free to you. If I put out content and you're not liking it, you can always unsubscribe later. That camera is the Sony A7C. Now, I gotta be honest, when this first came out, I wasn't really blown away, but if you are primarily a video shooter like I am, I think this might be the most powerful camera under $2,000 on the market. You can grab these used as well for around the same price as a used A7 III, and you get a lot of benefits. I actually picked this one up for $1,450, and there's a lot of quality of life improvements in this over the A7 III, specifically when it comes to video. And I know this because I sold my A7 III to get this camera. First and foremost, this right here. This is one of the most valuable things that I never realized I needed. The color science is vastly improved. With the A7 III, there was a lot of magenta shift, specifically in skin tone. You still had to work the colors and tweak them a lot in post to get them where you wanted. And this camera and the A7 III are both 8-bit, so you don't really have as much room to tweak your colors as you would with the newer cameras. However, don't let 8-bit scare you away from shooting log on this, because it's 100% doable, and I actually put out a video last week about how you can maximize your colors in S-Log to make them look perfect. Now, on top of the improved color science, you also have improved autofocus, and when I'm saying improved autofocus, I mean superior autofocus. The eye tracking on this is very reliable, specifically in video mode. Now, I never really had autofocus issues with my A7 III, but the A7C just gives me even more peace of mind, especially because I do have the flip out screen, so I can make sure that I'm in focus. Again, just a real quality of life improvement when it comes to getting content out quick. This camera does not mean unprofessional. You can get extremely high quality professional video out of this camera. And really the only downsides that I can think of is that yes, it is 8-bit, but as I mentioned, I have a fix for that you can work around it and get your colors to look right. It does have only one SD card, which is a bit of a bummer, but if I'm doing a professional shoot, typically I have some kind of external recorder that is going to be backing up or recording the footage altogether to begin with. So one SD card isn't the biggest deal breaker when it comes to professional shoots. And lastly, people complain about the custom buttons and the fact that there are none. There's one, technically, it's the trash can, but there really aren't many custom buttons. But what I've found is you don't really need them that much. By setting up your My menus and setting up your dials and setting up all these buttons to be customized to the ones you are using the most frequently, I can get through and edit any setting I need to very quickly. Yes, it did take a little bit of time to relearn how to do it, but I wouldn't say I'm any slower adjusting a setting on this camera than I was my A7 III that did have 3 custom buttons. Also, the inclusion of the recording button at the top is extremely nice, because the A7 III, a lot of the times when I was recording these kind of videos, pressing the button on the back, sometimes I would hit the wrong button and then I'd mess up my focus and I wouldn't know because I couldn't see the screen. Another way you can work around not having those custom buttons is you get an extra custom dial. You get 3 on this. In video, you don't really want to change change your shutter speed or be changing your ISO mid-shot. And that's what these custom dials allow you to do. Custom dial number 1 for me is my Cine 2 profile in 24 frames a second with a shutter speed of 50 and an aperture of f2.8. Well, most of these videos are recorded with. Custom setting 2 is my S-Log2 in 24, and custom setting 3 is S-Log2 in 120 frames per second, 1080. The only thing I ever really have to change before starting to record is my ISO to the level I want, and I set my white balance, and I'm good to go. I can record as much as I want, and you don't have to mess with it too much. It's more about getting the shot and having everything already set and ready to go for you. The point is, I think this is the easiest camera to not only carry around with you because of how small it is, but to start creating high quality content for YouTube on full frame, which in my opinion does offer better video performance, specifically in low light. We can go on and talk about the limitations of 8-bit or the rolling shutter, but like I said, this isn't for filming a movie, and I don't expect anyone to film a movie with this camera. What I expect you to do is create content, specifically online content, and you can do it both for yourself and for clients with this camera. Now, the last thing I want to talk about that, in my opinion, is the main benefit of this camera over the A7 III when it comes to shooting video is the ability to use Catalyst Browse. You don't have to carry a gimbal with you if you're trying to get stable shots anymore. If you're just out and about running around and decide you want something to be super stable, you can do that with Catalyst Browse in post. Look at how small that package is. Seriously, full frame camera with a wide angle lens that has a fast aperture and built-in IBIS right here, that's small. You can throw this in your bag at any time and there's no excuse as to why you can't create content. Now, real quick before I go, let's talk about the photo capabilities of this camera. It's the exact same as the A7 III, but with better autofocus and better colors. That's all you need to know. The A7 III is widely regarded as one of the best photo cameras ever made. And now you can get it in a smaller body that allows you to do better things with video while not sacrificing the quality of your photos. Is the workflow going to be different? Yes. But again, if you are a video first person like I am, I really don't think there's any other camera that can beat this camera for the price point right now. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave it a like, subscribe to stay up to date, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.